The Hinterkaifeck Murders. On March 31st, 1922, 6 members of the Gruber family were killed on their remote farmstead in Hinterkaifeck, about 70 kilometers north of Munich, Germany. Andreas Gruber, his wife Kazelia, their widowed daughter Victoria, her 2 children, and the family maid were all found brutally murdered with a mattock, a type of farming tool. Days earlier, Andreas had told neighbors he had discovered strange footprints in the snow, leading from the forest to the farmhouse, but none leaving. He also reported hearing footsteps in the attic and finding a newspaper on the property that no one in the household had purchased. The family dismissed these incidents, but they would later gain eerie significance. Investigators concluded that the killer lured family members one by one into the barn, where they were slaughtered. The maid and young boy were killed inside the house. Despite the savagery, the murderer stayed at the farm for several days, tending to livestock and eating meals from the kitchen before disappearing. The case baffled police. Numerous suspects, including neighbors and former suitors of Victoria, were investigated, but no one was charged. Evidence deteriorated over time, and crucial files went missing during World War II. The Hinterkaifeck murders remain one of Germany's most chilling unsolved crimes, still debated by historians and true crime enthusiasts a century later. The Villisca Axe Murders. On June 10, 1912, the quiet town of Villisca, Iowa, awoke to a shocking crime. In the home of Josiah and Sarah Moore, 8 people were found murdered. Josiah, Sarah, their 4 children, and 2 visiting girls from the Stillinger family had all been killed with an axe during the night. The victims were discovered the next morning by a neighbor after the family failed to appear for daily chores. Inside the house, the scene was horrifying. All occupants had been beaten as they slept. Curtains were drawn, mirrors covered with cloth, and pieces of clothing draped over the victims' faces. The axe, belonging to Josiah Moore, was left leaning against a bedroom wall. Investigators determined the killer likely waited inside the attic before striking after midnight. Despite interviewing dozens of suspects, including a traveling preacher named George Kelly and State Senator Frank Jones, no one was ever convicted. Trials were held, but juries failed to reach verdicts. The brutality of the crime and lack of resolution gripped Iowa, and soon the entire nation. Over a century later, the Villisca Axe murders remain unsolved, with theories ranging from local feuds to transient killers riding the railroads. Today, the Moore House is preserved as a museum and attracts paranormal investigators and tourists, cementing its place in American true crime history.